Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Gemini January 2020 horoscope forecast part 2 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, first thing up is as far as January goes, Mars will be in Scorpio from the 1st until the 3rd. So the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now at this time, Gemini, situation with employees, people in your daily routine, people you work with. It could be also people that are prominent in your health, your fitness life, your even an aunt or uncle. The situation may be more contentious and acrimonious than usual. There may be arguments over matters with jealousy, and just be careful over vengeful and vindictive anger directed at them, or you may be dealing with that kind of energy directed at you at this time. On a positive note, though, this could be about injecting a lot of energy and vitality into something Scorpio related, perhaps something employment related, or just simply incorporate it in your daily routine, such as something with the occult, astrology, supernatural, locksmithing, solving problems, getting to the bottom of things that are requiring some kind of mechanical skill. It could be transformation. It could be just a lot of relentless energy, willful energy into doing things that are physical. It could be into your physical health, matters with your physical health, as well energy into transforming that physical health, such as working out vigorously. And also, too, if you're unattached Gemini, you may connect with a Scorpio Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Scorpio characteristics. It could be someone prominent in your daily routine, your health life. It could be somebody that you may meet at your place of employment. And also guard against possible injuries to cuts or something, or injuries to your area by the pelvic area, anywhere that could be Scorpio related, the buttocks even. At this time, you might be more susceptible and propensity to injuries in those areas at this time. So anyway, next thing up, Mars will be in Sagittarius at this time. As far as January goes, from the 3rd until the 31st. So the 7th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, the situation in relationships with a significant other, with a grandmother, even in some cases, may be more contentious and acrimonious, more so than usual. There may be philosophical differences, arguments connected with the law, or religious arguments at this time. Could also be a time where you put a lot of and really a lot of enthusiastic and exuberant energy into some kind of competition, or it could be something where you put a lot of energy and vitality into even sports competition or philosophical discussions at this time. And remember, it's also a chance, Gemini, if you are unattached at this time, you may connect with a Sagittarius Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Sagittarius characteristics. It may be for a sexual liaison. It may be somebody you may know on some competitive level, or even someone that might lead to a very strong, significant other situation, perhaps a marriage partner at some point. Anyway, well, the next thing up is, well, Jupiter will be in Capricorn still, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. As I've spoken about in previous videos, Jupiter can be rather paradoxical. It could be very strongly benign and benevolent, but also have proclivity and tendency to enlarge and expand. Now, in some cases, this can enlarge and expand restrictions and limitations, depressive energy, and responsibilities, even matters connected with, could be credit card issue, or something with insurance, taxes at this time. There may be some kind of, it might be also expanding responsibility toward making a major change or transformation. And also, in some cases, this could be about a lot of exuberant, enthusiastic energy in some kind of business situation that's a shared resources scenario at this time, but this could be very auspicious and very positive for 8th house matters as well, such as making a major change or transformation, dealing with crisis situation, even an inheritance in some cases, establishing some kind of legacy. It could be done with a lot of Capricorn premeditative and plan energy at this time. Now, it could also be in some cases, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but you know I'm going to anyway. It could be a time where this could be the death of somebody that maybe was like a mentor to you, or some kind of professor, somebody that was in publishing, or had a very strong effect on your philosophical outlook, but could also be about a philosophical transformation or religious transformation at this point in time, Gemini. So those are some of the ways that this could manifest and pan out. And it's also about being very fortuitous and lucky, just by simply being disciplined, by being premeditative, by being responsible in matters that are associated with the 8th house, and being able to premeditate and plan ahead. So anyway, next thing up. Well, Saturn will be in Capricorn still, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, some cases, Gemini, you might be experiencing some limitations and restrictions in the libido and the sexual urge at this time. But it'll also be a time where you might find yourself taking care of a sickly or debilitated. Could be a person you're in a shared resources scenario with, or even somebody you're in an intimate connection with. It could be something Capricorn related, such as something with the knees, the bones, the joints, the hamstrings, and maybe making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy at this time. But it could also be about having to deal with a lot more responsibilities and a lot of laborious efforts, a lot of laborious, consistent efforts in 8th house matters, such as taxes, insurance, making a major change or transformation, dealing with a crisis situation. Could even be older people might be factoring strongly at this time in terms of dealing with a crisis or making a major change or transformation in your life. You might connect with an older person as far as an intimate relationship as well at this time, Gemini. So those are the ways some of this could manifest and pan out at this time. And also it might be experiencing a lot of despondency and sadness and dealing with the death at this time, Gemini. So anyway, and those are, and again, you might feel some limitation, restriction in as far as getting moral, monetary, and emotional support at this time. I wouldn't count on getting an overabundance of it at this time, Gemini. Might be making you feel really dejected and disconsolate, since we're talking about Capricorn energy. Anyway, and it could also be about gaining structure and discipline in your sex life as well. Next thing up. Uranus will still be in Taurus, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, this could be about some Uranus type hidden adversaries. At this time, it could be people that are in astrology or astronomy, aerospace, innovation, new technology, computers, electronics. It could be people that are on the internet, perhaps, that might be pretending to be your friend and they're really someone else. Remember, you're talking about Uranus and then the 12th house of deception. So it could be about a lot of internet deception you could be dealing with at this time. Also, in some cases, you might be dealing with some unusual, stubborn, obstinate behavior from an aunt or an uncle, people prominent in your private life. This could indicate an unusual need for solitude and seclusion at this time, Gemini. But also at this time, too, in some cases, this could be about some, you might be showing some kind of idiosyncratic behavior or bizarre behavior at times, which might be misconstrued for something else, like some mental illness in some isolated cases. Because the 12th house is about that, and mental illness. The 12th house is also about confusion, too. It could be a time, too, where rebellious and idiosyncratic behavior may be oneself undoing, but at the same time could also be about Taurus friendships. They could be Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Taurian traits that might figure more prominently, sadly, in your secret sorrows, but also perhaps in dealing maybe with limitations, restrictions, or matters with restrictions and limitations in general, and even in just private matters at this time. But I mean, whether they're really whether it's more to your into your you could say beneficial to you or more to your detriment, a lot of that could be dependent and predicated on the aspects that are made to points in your chart. If it makes a sextile or trine your natal Jupiter, they might be more auspicious in those matters. But if they're, say this makes an adverse aspect to your natal Saturn, they might be causing some more sorrow and dejection in those matters. So anyway, next thing up. Well, Neptune will still be in Pisces, so the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted, Gemini. So at this time, well, this can manifest in a number of ways. This could be about where you might be dealing with a dominant parent, which is often the father. People prominent in your career, your reputation, public image may be more nebulous and unclear than usual, maybe somewhat deceptive and duplicitous even. On a positive note, though, this could also be about doing something Neptune related as far as your career goes, such as something with the metaphysical, which includes astrology, photography, chemistry, dancing, poetry, something with illusion and special effects. It could be too at this time as well, where sometimes sadly this could be about the dissolving or dissipation of one's public image and reputation at this time. And a lot of this, whether this happens or not, or it's more about idealism in one's career, a lot of this or maybe trying or reaching to attain one's dreams and one's public image and reputation. This could be, a lot of this could be predicated and dependent on aspects that are made to points in one's chart. A sextile trine to one's Jupiter may be one where it could be more auspicious in these matters, but if you're having, like, say, an adverse aspect to your natal Saturn, it may be going in the other direction, sadly. But another thing too, though, is that you might be, and when you're talking about, I mean, this could be about slander or some lies and deception that might be affecting one's public image and reputation, but could also be about, in some cases, since we're talking about Neptune energy, and this Neptune energy could be about where we often will daydream and fantasize about, as opposed to actually taking action on it. It's more lethargic, lackadaisical energy. And in 10th house matters perhaps at this time, and especially if this is making an adverse aspect to one's natal Sun, Mars, or Ascendant, as that could increase that propensity. Last but not least, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but you know I'm going to anyway. Now, some cases this could be about the actual or literal death of somebody that may be prominent in a shared resources situation you may be involved in, or it could be somebody that it could be an intimate, someone you're in an intimate or sexual relationship with. It could also be about, in some cases, and positively manifest, it could be about the destruction or obliteration of some kind of credit card debt, or some kind, or just debt in general. It could be some kind of tax related issue, or even an insurance matter may come to an ending at this point in time. It could also be about gaining really adding power to making some kind of major change and transformation. But also to keep in mind, people, that when you're talking about Plutonian energy, it could also be about where we expect infallibility and just guard against expecting this kind of infallibility from someone you're in a shared resources situation with, someone you're in a sexual relationship with, even people that are in 8th house professions, such as people in occult, astrology, supernatural, somebody or people, or maybe somebody that could be your tax examiner, or somebody that you deal with insurance with at this time. Anything 8th house related. I mean, this could be a time where you might be expecting or anticipating some kind of infallibility at this time. So, and also guard against power and control issues with 8th house people at this time as well, Gemini. So anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Gemini January 2020 horoscope forecast. part 2 of 2. And stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my Cancer January 2020 horoscope forecast part 1 of 2. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.